Hey everybody, Scitzz here coming at you. Listen, I've been dealing with this on and off for a couple of months. This is a secondary car for me, but once you see what we've got going on here is 12.87 volts on the bench. This was testing at 14.4 volts, and then I've got a jumper cable going. A minute ago I could hear the engine drop like hooking up to a battery. Negative with the terminal, engine running. Ground the engine out onto the engine. I didn't hear the RPM drop this time. I don't have a good connection standby. This is a ratty pair of jumper cables. And sure enough, there we have 13.4 volts coming just from having a good ground. So I turned that off so we could hear me better. So the battery would charge at about 12.8, 12.9. You'd go down the road, you turn on the headlights, and I have one of those chargers in the cigarette port that tells you the voltage that's going on. And I look down at it, I'm like, 12.8 volts. That's weird. You had to come up now. And so then when I turned on the headlights, it would go down like 12 volts. And you could drive it for a couple of days because it's a carby car before it would kill the battery and you're having trouble starting, having to pop start. And once you pop start, you can run. But then, so, I drove it for a couple of days like that, testing it out, trying to see what was going on. And I posted up in the forum about it. What I ended up doing, he changes his last name on Facebook every so often. His name's Jim. He knows who I'm talking about. Most of you guys do. FB71 on the forums. So he suggested doing a voltage drop test from the alternator case to the negative terminal, and I had something like 1.3 or 1.5. I can't remember now off the top of my head. And I think he said the maximum was 0.3 or 0.5 volts. And so that indicated a bad ground. And then, that was like weeks ago. And somebody revived the thread recently, and I was like, man, I really got to get that car out of the backyard, get in here, and see if that's what it is. Just been so busy trying to catch up on everything else, and it's going to insanity. It's been crazy. But what else do you expect? Madness Central, right? So what I'm going to do, and it didn't take long looking at it. I see, one place where I've got corrosion at a ground. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the places where the car is grounded. You've got ground wires, like you've got the one that's right here. This one here, so on and so forth. I'm going to go to all those places. I'm going to disconnect the grounds. I'm going to check the resistance probably on the wires themselves. I may not even bother doing that. Let's be perfectly honest. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go clean all the grounds. Just pull it out, clean it off with a little sandpaper, make sure that it's good, put it back, screw it back down, bolt it back down. And then, to be perfectly honest, I will probably add a ground wire from the battery negative to the body of the car, just to make sure that it's not something to do with, let's be honest, this is 1988. It's a 30-year-old car. It's 30-year-old wiring. There's a good possibility that it could just be, the wiring itself is getting a little bit old. And I'll try to make it as unobtrusive as possible. She's getting a spring cleaning today. She's going to get that today. I'm hoping to bring this car to Ohio Estiva. Anyway, I just wanted to give that, I knew that was a problem once he brought it up, but it's something that I've run, and I do this for a living, and it's something that I've run into so seldom. I didn't even think about that. A bad ground keeping me from charging, even though I pulled the alternator out because I was like, oh, the alternator's going bad. And I took one off the shelf, went down, had it bench tested. It was 14.4 at the bench. Came back here, tossed it in the car, and had the same symptoms. So I took the one that I had taken out, ran it down, had it tested. It was 14.4 volts on the bench at the local O'Reilly's. And I was like, is their machine screwing up? So I took it to, I think, Advanced Auto. 14.4 volts. I was like, there's something else going on here. So I asked the question on the forum, and, props to the forum, props to Facebook, to the Festiva community. Everybody chimed in, and sure enough, bam, got the answer. It took me a while to verify it, but, thanks everybody. This is Scitzz from Madness Central. Peace out.